Hello, thank you for coming to the website and checking out some videos, whether you're on the YouTube page or the website. We appreciate the interest, and we are hoping that this video can add some value to your search for solar. And as you pursue it and see if it's right for you, maybe these videos will help out in that process. So this video is going to be about net metering. We're going to have a series of net metering videos because depending on who your electric company is going to determine how net metering is going to work for you specifically. Okay, so this video is going to be on the smaller electric companies in Kentucky. So this is going to apply to Frankfort Plant Board, Salt River Electric, Shelby Co-op, Bluegrass Energy, some of the smaller RECCs as well in Kentucky, like Nolan and Meade, Owen RECC. Any smaller utility in Kentucky that is not LG&E or KU is who this video is intended for. When you get way south in Kentucky, closer to Tennessee, that could change a little bit. But if you're not close to the border of Tennessee and you have a smaller utility company that is not LG&E, KU, or Duke, this video is very likely to apply to your situation. So the good news is this video is the best one when it comes to net metering, because the companies that I mentioned, they all have the most beneficial net metering program. What net metering is, if you are not already familiar, is when you get solar, the electric company puts a new meter on your house. So we have to submit plans to the electric company. They approve it on the front end. And then after your system passes inspection through the authority having jurisdiction in that area, then they let the electric company know. And the final step of the solar process is the electric company coming out and replacing that meter with a net meter. And what that means is you're producing essentially all your power in the best few hours of the day when the sun is hitting your panels most directly. But you're using power all through the night. You're using power on cloudy days. You're using power many times when your solar is not producing enough for you or not producing at all. So when you have net metering, you get to send your extra power during the day back to the utility company. And essentially, you're going to be turning your meter backwards. And every sunny day throughout the year, most of our systems, especially in these electric companies that this video is intended for, most of our systems designed in these areas will be sending power back to the grid essentially every sunny day. So the power goes from your solar panels on the roof to your inverter, and then the inverter feeds your main electric panel. And then when you're producing more than that electric panel needs, that's when it's going to back feed through your meter and go to your electric company. A lot of people are not using a ton of energy during the day if they're at work. Sometimes there's no one at the house during the day. So in that case, you're going to send a lot more power back to the grid. And then at nighttime, instead of buying energy from the electric company, you just get to pull those credits back out that you had sent in earlier that day. So the sweet part about this for these smaller electric companies is that it is still what is the program for net metering is still referred to as a one-to-one net metering program. And what that means is that everything that you send to them, you get to pull right back out at no charge. And you actually get a full credit when you send it to them and pull it back out. So those credits, they roll over week to week and month to month. And if we have a 100% system in one of these utility areas, one of these service areas, again, Frankfort Plant Board, Salt River Electric, Shelby Co-op, Bluegrass Energy, a lot of the RECCs, when your system is 100%, it's actually going to be designed to produce an excess of power March, April, May, June, July, all those months, most of the systems are going to produce more than the house needs every month. And those credits are just going to build up. Each month they're going to build up, and you're going to be banking with the utility company over 6 to 8 months throughout the year. So that when we get to the winter and we are producing a third of what we're producing in the best summer months, we're going to have enough stored up in that bank from all those excess months that we've already experienced to get us through the winter without having to buy any energy. So even though you'll be using more than you're consuming, you'll just be pulling from the bank that you stored up earlier that year with them. And it just doesn't get much better than this. For LG&E and KU, if you send in 100 kilowatt hours, you essentially can only pull back out about 70 kilowatt hours before they start billing you. And the way that looks on the bill is when electricity touches the grid for LG&E, they get, like I said, about 70% of a retail value credit. Whereas with these smaller utilities that this video is targeted for, you get full credit. You get full credit for everything you send in, no matter when you use it. And that means that if you have one of those utilities, it is not going to get any better than that setup in any scenario. So another thing to note is that the state has passed a law that governs when these utility companies can make these changes. Okay, so LG&E and KU have already made them. Duke has already made them. And the best thing about the state law that was passed is, first of all, any change that is made by a utility company has to be approved by the Kentucky Public Service Commission. So, it has to be fair. It has to be something that the commission looks at and judges as fair and reasonable. And it also will not affect anyone who already has solar when the Public Service Commission approves a change. So any change that is made only for systems moving forward from that point on, and systems that are already installed will be grandfathered in for 25 years. So that's a huge benefit as well. If you get solar in one of these utility companies with a very beneficial net metering setup, you do not have to be concerned about that changing for you in the future, because that would have an effect on your return on the investment if something like that was able to be pulled out from under you. So again, smaller utility companies in Kentucky, phenomenal net metering programs. If you want to see how it works on your house, we'd be happy to get you some info. So give us a call. Thanks for watching. Bye.